All right, good morning, everyone. So I'm Jay Wade Crypto here at Crypto World, and happy 4th yesterday for those that celebrated. But we have a special guest today. We have Eric. He's all the way out of Shanghai, but he's talking about Ballet, which is a company that we use here at the store. He's probably going to talk a little bit about what's going on out there. And we have, I know Eric you can't see, but we do have a group here. I'll turn the camera around once I'm done speaking. But you know, we're excited to be working with you guys and with Ballet. We're looking for, as we open more locations, we're hoping that you know, we can have more of a partnership on what we're doing. But Eric, I just wanted to give you the chance to introduce yourself and kind of talk about what's going on out there. I know, what time is it in Shanghai right now?
Yeah, at the moment it is 10:30 p.m.
Yeah, so I was joking around with him. He's probably wanting to go to bed here shortly because it's 10:30. It's 9:37 over here. But I'll give you the floor, Eric, and then if we have questions from online, you know, folks, and also here at Crypto World, I'll be sure to ask you.
Sure. So I guess good morning to everyone in Crypto World and in St. Louis, I assume. But yeah, my name is Eric. I am with the company Ballet. For those who don't know, Ballet is a cold storage solution company. We are based in 2 locations, one being in Vegas in the US, and the second location is in Shanghai, which is where I am currently based. The Ballet Wallet, if you haven't seen it yet from Jeff, essentially it is a cold storage solution wallet. Specifically, it is a physical non-electronic multi-currency wallet. So the private key components are on a physical device in a form factor of a card. And then whenever you want to interact with that device, with that physical device, you would need the mobile app that we have called the Ballet Crypto app. So within the app, you can directly interact with that physical device. So you can send your crypto, receive crypto, buy crypto, swap crypto. You can store your NFTs. We have a few other, I guess, quote unquote, kind of expert features, such as being able to offline sign. We have an air gap offline signing feature, and a few other features as well. But essentially, the Ballet Crypto app, in tandem with the Ballet Wallet, with the physical Ballet Wallet, is the kind of all-encompassing kind of all-in-one solution for your crypto, you know, cold storage, self-custody needs. The company itself, we started in 2019. 2019 started by our founder and CEO, Bobby Lee. And then we've been around for, I guess, you know, up until now, 3 years. In 2019, we did have an angel seed investment from Riba Capital. And a few months ago, we happily announced our Series A investment round, led by a few other investors as well, including Riba Capital from the beginning. So yeah, we are excited to kind of, you know, still be here in the industry and continuing to kind of evangelize and push for self-custody and the benefits of, you know, not your keys, not your crypto. So yeah. Did anyone have any questions, or did you want me to kind of go more into kind of the wallet itself or my job function, or?
Yeah, I mean, if I don't know if anybody has any immediate questions right now, but I'm curious about the wallet. You guys designing a new wallet? That you said it's air gap. Is that what you said?
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, well, the actual physical, the physical device, which I have right here. This device essentially holds your private key entropy components, which makes up of two components, one being the passphrase and one being the encrypted private key. Both of those components are generated through the open source standard called BIP38. Many of you may have heard of BIP39 before, but BIP38 is a different public key generation process. Essentially, it's a double-blind process where you can create and generate one component and a second component without both components not knowing anything about the other one, and vice versa. So we utilize this BIP38 process in generating both components in two different locations. So that's the reason why we are in two different locations, one being Vegas and one being Shanghai. So that process allows us to create the two different components in two different locations without the other location knowing anything about the other component, right? And this is all done through our two-factor key generation process, which is at the moment, a U.S. patented process. So yeah, once those components are generated, those components are then printed onto the wallet in those two separate locations. And this is the way they're manufactured and produced and packaged. And then we sell them just like in this manner with the package on it. And then, when a user or customer receives them, they can then use the wallet for all sorts of purposes, right? They can use the wallet for gifting, or they can use the wallet for cold storage. If they want to deposit crypto onto it, they easily can because of the fact that the public address is on the front. So if they want to gift crypto, for example, right, they can just take one of these wallets, deposit crypto on the QR code right here, and then just hand it to somebody else, right? Without even needing to kind of reveal the two components or the two private components. But if they, if they want to use the wallet as a normal everyday wallet, they can. Just because, for example, if you go ahead and, I guess, reveal the components, the passphrase and the encrypted private key, that's not to say that you can't use the wallet for an everyday wallet, right? So with the Ballet Crypto app, you have all the essential functions that you can use as a normal daily wallet. Like I said before, you can receive crypto, you can send crypto, buy crypto, swap crypto. You can sign your transactions offline. But for that function, you will be needing a separate mobile phone for that, a separate offline mobile phone, which will be utilizing QR codes for that air gap signing process. But yeah, the wallet itself, there's many different use cases for it. I think one story I heard was one person with Jeff, right? For his story that he shared on a recent Twitter space for Ballet of him and his child. I guess it has some kind of time capsule project. And then I guess for that project, he utilized the Ballet Crypto wallet in hopes of, I guess, some day, year in the future, recovering that Ballet wallet and still having those cryptos and coins on it. The use cases, it goes on and on. Like I said before, you can give crypto with it. You can essentially, you can deposit crypto in here, put it somewhere in a safe, put it in a bunker, come back 10, 20 years later, and you'll still have it, right? You don't need to worry about firmware updates. You don't need to worry about software updates. You don't need to worry about if the USB, if the USB is still around, right? So, you can almost think of it like a more advanced paper wallet, right? Or a more advanced interactive paper wallet. But with using it in tandem with the Ballet Crypto app is where you can essentially expose and I guess really maximize the use case for the Ballet Wallet.
Question. Yeah. Right. Suppose you have cryptocurrency on some storage, public storage facility. How would you get it onto the wallet?
Yeah, good question. So I assume you mean like if you have your crypto on an exchange, correct?
Exchange, yeah.
Yeah. So if if your coins or if your crypto is on an exchange, you can then go ahead and initiate a transfer or a withdrawal of your crypto out of the exchange. When that happens, you would need to be prompted to input your public address. So you can get the public address from the top of the card right here, or in some cases, you can just scan the QR code that's already made visible on the card. Or, I guess for simplicity as well, you can add this card on the Ballet Crypto app. Once you add it on the Ballet Crypto app, essentially the app acts as a watch-only wallet. So it can pull the data or the blockchain data pertaining to the public address that you just added onto the app. And then from the app too, you can copy the public address and then paste it into, I guess, the receiving field of your transaction. So, yep.
Cool.
I got a question for you. So I just bought a Ballet Wallet a couple weeks ago, and I just started downloading some Bitcoin to that wallet. And so if I'm a hodler and I'm gonna keep it forever, how do I know when time comes 5 years from now, when I scratch off the passphrase, if that's a good passphrase and you didn't typo the characters on there? That's my biggest threat, loading a lot of Bitcoin on that wallet. And then how do I know those passphrase and the key is gonna be good?
I apologize. Do you mind speaking a little bit louder to the microphone?
Yeah, so he said that he bought a Ballet Wallet a week or so ago, and when he starts or if he starts adding Bitcoin away from an exchange into that Ballet Wallet, how does he know that the passphrase and just the keys on there are valid?
Yep.
And also, like some folks, like how some folks are asking, like, are these random keys that or passphrases that Ballet have access to, or just on the protection side?
Yeah, good question. So we don't hold the private key components that we generate. The passphrase, which is at the bottom, and the encrypted private key, which is beneath this top QR code. Both components we don't store, we don't keep. And that's the honest truth. You need to, there's no way to sugarcoat that. You're gonna have to trust us for that, right? We don't store any of those components. On a quick pivot as well, on the word trust, essentially any wallet provider that you use, any wallet software, any hardware wallet, you need to trust the team behind it. You need to trust, there is some component of trust to any wallet you buy or you download. So that's, I guess, the point that I want to kind of emphasize when I say that you need to trust that Ballet, the team, the founders, the CEO is not storing those components, right? That's number one. Number two, to your question is, how can you, if I heard it correctly, how can you verify that your public address pertains to the private key components that are printed beneath the scratch off and the QR code, or beneath this sticker, right? So in the app, there is a verification tool that you can use to verify that the wallet is or should be working as the way it is. There's that, right? If you go on the Ballet Crypto app, there is a verify section under the menu section that you can go to make sure that it's an authentic Ballet wallet. That's number one. Number two, within the app as well, you can find a confirmation code, all right? And that confirmation code allows you, with the confirmation code allows you to essentially, I guess, verify that your public address is cryptographically encumbered by the private key components. And that's also available in the app as well. So in the app, like I said before, there's two ways, right? You can go to the verify section in the menu. And then number two is that you can find the confirmation code, which will allow you to ascertain that the public address is cryptographically encumbered by the private key components laying beneath the scratch off in the top QR code sticker.
Yeah, one of my questions is, we sell your wallets here at the store, and what I like about them is it's super easy to use. It's almost like preloading a gift card, right? So it's very, very easy, especially for people that are new in this space, that are learning about crypto and just learning about the basics. But one thing that I wanted to ask is, what is the major difference between you guys and, let's say, the Trezors or the Ledgers out there? Because those are the top two in the industry. Other than simplicity, is that the main thing that you guys differentiate? Because the cost is probably half the cost, between the two. But is there any other things that you could talk about, the differences?
Yeah, so the differences, I would say, it's kind of like what I said in the beginning. Yes, one, simplicity, right? But two, I think our wallets have longevity in mind. So I'm going to basically repeat what I said in the beginning. If you take the bag, if you top, put away.
Eric, I think we're losing you. I don't know if it's our reception. Yeah, you're coming hazy. Let me see.
It's on the TV.
One second. Let's see if I can get to it.
Hey, hello.
Okay, I don't know if it's a Wi-Fi connection or what, but we could barely hear you.
The VPN here in Shanghai is WQT. It is not easy jumping over the grid. Let me say that.
Is this a satellite connection?
Yeah.
Some fish is chewing on the underwater cable.
Eric, you want to try?
Testing 1, 2.
No,
Yeah, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
that is still pretty rough. Well, I'm not too sure what else I can do. All right, Eric, how about now?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. All right, go. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So back to your question. I think I essentially kind of repeated it in the beginning. Well, besides simplicity, I think longevity is something that our wallets have over other wallets. So like I said before, if you deposit crypto onto this card, it's physical, right? There's no moving components to it. There's no electronic components to it. You take this card, deposit crypto onto it. It's essentially a robust paper wallet, right? You put it somewhere, put it somewhere safe in your deposit box, underground, in a bunker, at your bank. You come back to it 10 or 20 years later, it's still there, right? You don't need to worry about how to find your private keys. You don't need to worry about updating any firmware. There's no software updates or anything. So longevity, I would say, is one of the bigger advantages over like a ledger or Trezor, considering that they are electronic components, and every 2 or 3 years they have like a new kind of hardware wallet, right? I think third as well. So one being simplicity, two being longevity, three, I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's the best tool for gifting crypto, gifting Bitcoins or crypto. Honestly, I'm trying to think of the other kind of methodologies to gift crypto and Bitcoin, and I think gifting crypto on the Ballet Wallet just far exceeds that. It's super simple. All you need to do is deposit your crypto onto the QR code, and you just hand it to the other person, right? This essentially is making, it's essentially transpiring the digital into the physical, right? It's making it more palpable for the everyday person, right? They can feel it. They can, if any one of you gets your hands on one of these Ballet Wallets, the robustness and like the firmness of the wallet actually gives it more gravity as to what you're holding, right? There's not only is there value on it, but like it's sturdy, right? So there's that kind of hefty feeling to it that I think really accentuates what you're holding inside it. So I think, I think those three characteristics gives it an advantage over other wallets, right? So one being simplicity, two being longevity, and three being, gifting crypto, right? This is a great way to introduce people to crypto, and it's very easy for the recipient to start using it right away. So
the crypto is not really on that physical device. You have the key, which allows you to manipulate the blockchain. Is that right?
Correct. Yep. With any wallet, you actually don't directly hold your crypto or coins. Essentially, you're holding the private key that you can use to sign and broadcast transactions to the blockchain to change ownership. So correct. Yep. Your crypto or coins or NFTs are not on the wallet. What's on the wallet are those private key components that you need to change ownership on the blockchain.
So the key is really the QR code that you have burned into the device.
So the top QR code is pertaining to the public address. Beneath the top QR code sticker is another sticker, which pertains to one of the components that you need to then reveal the raw private key. So once you combine both the first component right here, which is your passphrase, and then the second component, which is underneath this top sticker, once you combine it is then when you can reveal the actual raw private key.
Uh-huh.
You said you had mentioned NFTs, so your wallets can accept NFTs, and if so, what type of NFTs are you talking about?
Yeah, so essentially we support, so at the moment we support we don't support all public blockchain networks, but we do support Ethereum, Binance Chain. So we support NFTs that are on Ethereum or Binance Chain, right? If you want to deposit an NFT from OpenSea or from MetaMask, you can, depending on the wallet, right? So if this is an Ethereum wallet, you can directly deposit your NFTs onto the QR code. If it's not, you can still access your Ethereum address through the Ballet Crypto app. Once you add this to the Ballet Crypto app, you can then enable and see all of your other public addresses for different blockchains. So Ethereum, Binance Chain, Litecoin, and so on and so forth. And then within the app too, depending on what kind of NFTs, within the app, you can also see and display your NFT image in the app.
So 10 years from now, you can't do anything without that app.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, he was asking what would happen in 10 years. Do you still need the app to be able to access, your files, your NFTs, your crypto?
Good question. So you do not. You do not need the app. I can send over an article or an explainer that I wrote up to Jeff, and then he could send it to.
You're on mute. I can't hear you.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So the short answer to that question is no. You don't need the app. The Ballet Wallets are using an open source standard called BIP38. When you use BIP38, you can then essentially reveal and I guess generate your raw private key, and from there you can then generate different public addresses depending on what type of blockchain network you want to find. There is an explainer on our website, basically explaining how you can kind of recover your Bitcoins or crypto if the app or if the team vanishes one day, right? You don't need the app, right? This is all open source right here. BIP38, it's you can find it online, you can find it through our website. So yeah, no worries if even if you want to use the app right now, you can still deposit your crypto or Bitcoins onto this one, and you can still access it without using the Ballet Crypto app. Everything's open source.
Do you have different product lines? There's different wallets that have different functionalities.
We have one product line called Pure Bitcoin. Those are, I guess you can say, it's a more premium, luxurious Ballet wallet. They come in two different forms, one in fine silver and the other one covered in 24 karat gold plated. But those wallets are only strictly for Bitcoin, right? For the Bitcoin maxis, basically. But essentially all other Bitcoin wallets or all other Ballet wallets have the same functionality. They're all multi-currency and they can all interact with the Ballet Crypto app. We do have, I guess recently, we did come out with a new product line called the gift cards, the Ballet gift cards. Essentially, those are also kind of limited to what crypto is on it. And those are, they can also be used for gifting crypto as well. But those, I guess essentially, they're not really considered wallets. They're just gift cards with similar technology as the Ballet wallets, but they're, their main focus and they're designed for a one-time usage. But in general, all of the other Ballet wallets have the same functionality. And also, we have another product line called the Pro Series. And essentially the Pro Series is for the more private key extremists, you can say. For the Pro Series allows the customer or the user to generate the passphrase themselves. So this bottom component, it allows them to generate this bottom component themselves, so that when they do receive the wallet after purchase, they only get the wallet without the passphrase, right? The passphrase is with the user, with the customer. So we actually never, throughout the whole production process, we don't generate the passphrase for you. The user does. We only generate the encrypted private key component, which is beneath this top QR code sticker. But for the more, I guess, paranoid people out there, or for the private key extremists, the Pro Series, I would say, is a pretty awesome wallet if they want to, I guess, be more extreme in how they kind of hold their own crypto, right? So I guess for the private key extremists, the suggestion would be to get a Pro Series and to sign transactions offline, right? That would be an ideal kind of air-gapped kind of solution to protecting your own private key.
What's the cost difference between the Pro Series? Is it twice the cost?
So the Pro Series, is about $200, and it's only manufactured in 3 months intervals. So every 3 months is when a new batch will come out. But within the Pro Series, you get like a set of 3 wallets, each wallet having the same public address and the same encrypted private key, right? So with those 3 different wallets, you can take 1 or 2 and hide it in different places and use one for your everyday wallet needs. And all 3 of them do not have your passphrase. Like I said before, the passphrase is generated and is with the user or with the customer. So, yeah.
Does anybody else have any?
Does it make sense to write down and store in a safe place any of these pieces of information?
So you could, right? You can always make a backup of any wallet. Essentially, you can make a backup of any wallet that you want to. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. But I think there is a risk to creating a backup, right? You're essentially increasing the surface attack of your private keys. If you have your wallet with you, your private keys are only with you, right? If you make a backup and if you put it somewhere and if you forget about it, or if somebody else steals that backup, then it almost begs the question as to what's the purpose of the backup. So I think it depends on what your, I guess, risk or risk return preferences or your security preferences. And it also depends on how much crypto or Bitcoins you're going to have on one wallet, right? So sure, you can make a backup, but it's also prudent to know, well, okay, now you need to protect your wallet and now you need to protect the backup. So you need to protect 2 things now, right? So it's a trade-off. In my opinion, sure, you can make a backup, or you can also kind of spread out the crypto on different wallets. So have like some kind of wallet diversification plan is important as well.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? No. Yeah, Eric, I don't think anybody else has any.
Actually, I'll come up to you. Eric, could you describe a little bit the manufacturing process of the wallets? I think that's part of the concern that people here at the store have from time to time when they think about how the private keys are actually etched onto that piece of metal. You guys say that you don't store them, but what I think might be cool is if you guys released maybe a video detailing how the cards are made and how that information isn't stored.
Sure. If you go on our website, there is a dedicated page describing the 2 key factor generation process that we have. But essentially, the way it works is, so your passphrase, right? That's the component at the bottom right here. That's generated in Vegas, in our Vegas office. With the passphrase, an intermediate code is generated from the passphrase. So within the BIP38 algorithm, your passphrase generates an intermediate code, right? So here, your passphrase right here, the passphrase generates an intermediate code right here. The intermediate code says nothing about the passphrase. That intermediate code is then sent to our Shanghai office, and with the intermediate code can then be generated an encrypted private key and a public address. And those two things that I mentioned, your encrypted private key and your public address, is then printed on to the actual card in Shanghai. So it's printed on these QR code stickers onto the metal wallet, right? I'll repeat it again. The passphrase, this component at the bottom, is generated in Vegas. That passphrase then generates an intermediate code. That intermediate code says nothing about the passphrase itself, but the intermediate code is used by the Shanghai team to print the encrypted private key at the bottom and the public address at the top onto the metal wallet. So everything besides the passphrase is generated and printed in Shanghai. These wallets are then sent back to Vegas, where they then laser etch the passphrase at the bottom and top it off with the scratch off right here. And that is the whole process. So yeah, I mean the whole process, it's BIP38. It's almost like black magic, right? You can create and generate two different components of the private key without one knowing the other, right? It's double-blind process. And after the whole procedure, right, we don't store any of the components, right? That's something that you need to trust us, sure. But I can say for sure that the whole process itself is damn sure buttoned up, right? It's legitimately air gapped, right? The whole so I mean, I myself, I'm actually not part of the process, right? There's only a few players in the company that are part of that whole process, right? For good reason, right? For obvious reasons. So I myself, I'm actually not part of the process, but this is as to how far I know what the process is all about. You know, there's certain people that do have access or are actually part of the process. They're the experts. They're the ones that are, you know, obviously doing their due diligence and being transparent about the whole thing, right? And so at the end of the day, like I said before, you're gonna have to trust that we don't store the components, right? We've been around for 3 years already. There is about over, at one point, $500 million in crypto value on our wallets, right? We just raised a Series A round, and we continue to be here in the long run, right? This is our mission, right? Our mission is to make crypto and Bitcoin simple, right? Our mission is to make self-custody simple, right? And yeah, so does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to get on that plane to see the process. Shanghai
Look,
to Las Vegas.
I'll be honest, you know, like I said before, like I don't have permission to be part of that process, right? There's only certain people above me that are part of the process, right? So this is all I can say as to how much I know about the process.
Yeah, I guess too, if you look at it, if all these guys have a ton of Bitcoin that are hiding their Bitcoin keys and underground storage and vaults and all that stuff, so they have to have some sort of trust too to the guys that are securing the vaults too. So I guess I can see your point there. But,
yeah, and you know, like just one more point too. If you guys don't trust us, you can go with the Pro Series, right? The Pro Series allows you to generate one of the components, the passphrase. So if you know, it doesn't matter if one person has the passphrase itself or the encrypted private key itself, they can't do anything with it, right? So if for the person that really is paranoid about it, we can go with the Pro Series. and which, my opinion, I think is the pretty awesome wallet that we have.
Yeah, I guess it all really depends on how much crypto you're holding. A couple $100, right? These would be fine, but if you're holding hundreds of thousands, if not millions, maybe the other one would be, the one you go with, Pro Series.
For sure. And I think
You said that they're bundled, 3 of them for the Pro Series. Why don't you just sell them individually?
No, he said they're only manufactured every 3 months.
Oh,
On the Pro Series, do they come in 3 wallets? 3 separate?
correct.
Oh,
Why 3? Why not just one?
I think with the Pro Series, we wanted to at least give some kind of redundancy to it, considering how sensitive they could be. But yeah, I think with the Pro Series, obviously the target customer for Pro Series would be that private key extremist, which theoretically maybe they would want some kind of backup to it. So yeah.
Any other questions? No. All right, Eric. I think we're gonna let you go to sleep since it's probably 11 out where you're at. But we appreciate the time you took to talk about ballet. Like I said, we like using it here just because of simplicity. And when I was on your Twitter space, I talked about handing those out to high school students, preloading them with Bitcoin, and then just getting the kids engaged and getting them to do it themselves. So that was a pretty fun project, and we're looking to do more things like that as we educate more students. And I think Jonas and I are going to go down to a busy spot in Main Street and kind of do something similar. Just talk to random adults about Bitcoin and their knowledge of it. So I think we're going to use the ballet to be able to do that. So
Nice.
we appreciate the time, and like I said, look forward to working with you on more projects.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. How come I don't see any coffee? Where's the coffee?
Yeah, well, the coffee's over there, right by the ladies. They're actually
Okay.
they're from you guys Shenzhen.
No, Hangzhou.
They're Shenzhen and
Hangzhou.
Hanzhou.
Hangzhou.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You live in Shanghai, right?
Correct. Yes. If you ever want to come back to the mainland, you can come visit our offices,
Okay.
or you can go visit our office in Vegas as well.
Hello.
Do you speak Mandarin or Cantonese?
I speak a little bit of both, but they're both very bad.
speak good English.
So I'm actually American. I was born and raised in New Jersey, but I've been living in Shanghai for about 3 or 4 years now.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
Yep.